Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to some more Stormworks. If you're a new viewer, welcome, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for continuing to watch. Let's see, in our last video, we made this complicated microcontroller. And you know what? I forgot to save, so I just had to remake it. And in this video, we are going to... it was a lot quicker to make it the second time than it was the first time, I'll say that. In this video, we're going to continue on with our touchscreen and making it function, right? And so we had changed this. This was light, I was pretty sure. And what we did is it was a 2x3. Yeah, I don't actually think I need to change that. But this one here, we were going to say 31. Let's just see what happens. All right, we'll update that. Spawn it in. It's getting dark too, so at some point I'll probably sleep just to make it light up. It doesn't bother me. I'm doing the testing, right? It doesn't bother me too much. But let's see here. So if we turn that on, all right. So I haven't changed. Yeah, it didn't save, so I have to change this to. Oh, there we go. See the light turn on and off on the monitor there. All right, so that works. Okay, so return to the workbench. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I had saved this, but I didn't. Whoops. Right, I had determined that we needed a 2x3 monitor. So I know there was, what did we have there? We had 17 or 18. This is a 1x2, 2x3. Now what I've got is I've got 20 inputs. So if you were following through before, that way will still work. The way I had it set up before will still work. And it'll still work. Yeah, so don't be discouraged. If all of a sudden things change, you're like, oh, things are changing. It'll still work. It's just we're going to have a couple more. It's all the same in principle. We're just going to have a couple more buttons this time around. Okay, so now what I need to do is I'm just connecting. Right, this is going to be our new touch screen, and then we need our composite. This is going to be our new composite touch screen. So if we had a panel here, those composite panels that have 4 buttons in them, it would be the same thing, right? Put the Lua in, and you run the composite into the microcontroller, and then, all right, so let's save this, so that way, I thought the autosave would have caught it because I did spawn it in, but then I come in and I was like, I don't know what happened here. The autosave didn't catch it, and I must have just exited the microcontroller without actually telling it to save. All right, well, I gotta hook up those 2 buttons too. So yeah, I don't really know what happened. That's Stormworks, whatever. Sometimes when you have a brain fart, you have a brain fart, right? Okay, so this should work. I'll have to put a light in here and that. All right, perfect. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and have 3 rows of buttons here, because we have 3 sections of sections, right? We have the camera, and then we have the motor, and then all that stuff. Okay, so as you notice there, when T1 is pressed, this is going to be 31. Now this is important because this defines the box that we are going to press. So if this goes all the way across the screen, the 96 pixels, then wherever your mouse is within that 96 pixels, it will activate T1, and we don't want that because we want other buttons to be beside it. So just be conscientious of that, right? This is your this is your rectangle here, X, Y, and then your rectangle stuff, right? Function is point in rectangle, and this is it here, is point in rectangle, and then you have input X and Y, and then this is our rectangle, X, Y, width, and height, right? 6 pixels high by 31 pixels wide, and its alignment is 1 pixel, 1 and 2. I'm wondering if I have to. All right, let's try something. Let's see. So this will be. I think the only one that we have to change is this. So if we want it to be 6, this will be 12. This will be 12, and where was this? We'll change that to 12 instead. Update. And now there should be 2 boxes, hopefully. Let's wait before I continue on. Let's wait and see what happens. I also want to check this. Oh yeah. See, when these things get low on electricity, I don't know. They have solar panels in the game, but they didn't put any of the solar panels on the warning systems. So when they get low on power, they don't work. And the only way to recharge them is to bring a truck over here with a generator on it. All right, so we'll turn on that monitor. We'll turn on that monitor. All right, see this? Press that. Oh, something's wrong here. Both boxes are working. Something's wrong here. Let's see. What did I do? On draw. So setting the color of the triangle, of the rectangle. This is the text box here. So then what is this here? Should be something like that. Oh, width and height. That can probably stay at 6. But the X and Y, this one here can probably go to 8. That's probably what happened here. We'll take that to 8. And we'll take that to 8. And then the width should stay at 6. So what it's supposed to do is it draws a rectangle. And then it draws the text box here. Let's just go 0 and 0. I think that's should be blue or red. Let's find out. Update. Spawn. Well, I'll have to find a binary of a color there, a number color that I like. The Lua number color that I like. Oh yeah, there we go. So see the top doesn't work, the bottom one, it works. That's how that is. So now what we need to do is when we press on it, see, then the words need to come down a little bit. The words need to come down just a little bit. So that's what we're trying to adjust now. Maybe this... It's the text. Maybe that needs to be 9. All right, so 1 is the rectangle and 1 is the text. That's right, and that's why I had this at 206, because it's like a semi-white, soft white. 135. So then that way we have the blue rectangle, and then the light where it says light. All right, let's see if 9 works. Let's see if 9 works. Let's update that. Unfortunately, at this point of the game, there's going to be a lot of this. This is what I meant by testing when I was doing the helicopter and that. Why I didn't really. It was hours and hours and hours of just this. Coming in, press a button, these, you know what I mean? Press a couple of buttons, does it work? Yes. Okay, there we go. See? So now we've moved the text down and it's in alignment. So the top button doesn't work, but the second button does. And now we've created 2 buttons. But now what I want to do is make it so that way when we press it. So I think I said if is point and triangle, then let's do this. Okay, we're gonna update the microcontroller and we're gonna save it this time. Hopefully it saves, fingers crossed. Yeah, as you can see, there's still lots of editing to be done on this ship, which we're gonna cover all that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to grab our truck, and I just have to look at the code that I wrote for that. It's been a long time since I haven't done any Roblox coding or anything. So if you don't use it, you lose it, right? And then, but it comes back. You just have to do it and repeat it, right? So that's just a little hint at the future. There's going to be some Roblox videos coming up because I've really neglected that game. My game there, and I'd like to revive it. All right, we can spawn this one in. So what I want to do is I want to look at this touch screen, and what we have here is I say if T1 then, and you see we have screen, set color, draw rectangle. And I don't know why I thought maybe it was going to be a toggle, right? So that's why I redid all the other buttons, because I thought maybe it was going to reset color back to white. Screen, set color, white, draw a triangle. Let's see what I did here. So this is the text here. If T1 then screen dot set color blue, screen draw a rectangle, else. I don't know if I need that here. Let's see here. Let's silence that. And let's actually change this to the off-white. Let's say 135, 206. I don't use this truck very much anymore, so I'm okay with the edits here. So now it should either draw a white triangle when I press on it. Still drawing that blue triangle. Oh, which button am I pressing here? The lights, right? Where is that? P-brake, engine on, off. Lights is here. Number 6. Composite input number 6. So what is T1 then? What is T1? Systems. All right. Let's see how that goes. Supposedly when I press the systems button, it's gonna change here. Yeah. Oops. Didn't actually do anything. It didn't actually do anything different. I'm a little disappointed here. Maybe this needs to be 135,206. And then this needs to be 0, 0. Let's try that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, that's exactly what that needs to be. So let me just explain what's happening here. So we have our function on draw, and what we're saying is if T1. So if I press T1, it sets the color of the triangle, and then we say draw the rectangle, sorry, to white. You can change that to whatever color you want. And then when I'm done, it changes it back to blue. Which I don't even know if I need this else I was when I originally made this, I was thinking that it was going to be like a toggle. When you throw it, it's a toggle, otherwise not. But I don't actually think we need this. I just think we need this. If T1, then like I don't think we need this or that. I think we can just get away with that. Let's see here. Update, yes, spawn. Yeah. Oops, on off. Now you can see the bottom here light. You can see how you can't see the bottom of that rectangle. I don't know why I keep saying triangle. And that's because we're 32 pixels by 32 pixels, and the way that I have these divided. All right, so we'll figure that out when we. So this is all you need. Okay. Here, we'll take this here. Yeah. And we're done, and we'll exit this, and we'll exit this. Then we'll go back over to our ship. Now we have to make sure our ship button does the same thing. So we are going to load our research ship. Then we're going to go into the microcontroller. We're going to edit the Lua script. And we are going to say if T1 then. Now, if I check for errors, it's telling me at line 41, we need that there. And then if I do that, now there's no errors detected. So I will need to end that. So let's update it. Spawn it in. If this works, in theory, when I press on the light button, not the first button, but the second button from the top, it should go white. Well, it worked, but we chose the wrong button. But as you saw there, you saw when we pressed on the middle button, the bottom button, it activated the top button. Well, why is that? That's because we say draw rectangle, and then we use the F here, which is a full rectangle, and then we have its position. So what we want to do is we want to take this position here. We want to copy that, and we want to paste that into here, and that gives us our position of the middle triangle, right? And as you saw when we pressed it, yeah. So that's all you need to do. So then if T1, then just like that. And then you can say if T2, T3, T4. Now the problem is that we're going to probably reach our maximum. We only have 4,000 not lines of code, but individual characters. So we really have to be careful. We really have to be careful when we're writing our Lua. So sometimes it can seem like it's squished together, you know, when it's hard to read, and that's just because I'm just trying to get rid of these. We've got 20 buttons to connect. I think we're gonna have to use a couple of Lua blocks, so we'll just go as far as we can. We'll split it into three. Okay, because we have 3 inputs coming from the update there, coming from the robot. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to go back into our microcontroller. That's a super mess. And we are going to say, okay, so the first buttons are going to be light, brakes, drive. All right. So let's do that. Our first 3 buttons are going to be light, brake, and drive. So this one's going to be P, right? And then we need to copy this, right? Copy. And then this will be drive. See, I did forward, and then we'll have to do 2 buttons, forward and reverse. And it's the same with the camera, right? Camera down, camera up. Camera left, camera right. Camera in, camera out. It's all that stuff. So hopefully we have the space. Okay, so light P brake is 2. This one's 9. It doesn't have to be 9. We're going by 7. So this will be 15, and this will be 22. And so this will be 16, and this should be 23. All right, just make sure I have that done. And what we do when we're doing this type of stuff is try not to rush ahead. Sometimes you think you've got it and you can rush ahead and do a whole bunch of programming and realize you don't have it, and you start running into errors, and then you have to go back through, and it just creates a nightmare. So what I want to do is just slowly, bit by bit, we're connecting this bit by bit. Oh boy, and that is a big mess there. Big mess what I got there. So these ones, I'm going to have to do that because I don't think we actually have the space to write all that. Now, too many words. See if that helps. All right, we only have, was it 30 pixels to work with? So if the letters are 2 pixels wide, you can do 15 letters without any spaces. Yeah, that's what's happening here. You see it's forcing itself out of the box because we just have too much text in there. So let's see if we can compress this down. Let's go ahead and then back. I'm sure there's probably a better, more creative way to be thinking, right? To be thinking of these names, but right now this is what we're getting. So all right, we'll spawn it in. So you see, it's a lot of. All right, do a single function. Doesn't work. No, try it again. Try it again. Try it again. So when I do these big builds, often that's why sometimes it takes days of planning and days of testing. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then if I do that, that turns the light on because we don't have that connected. All right. So this is our first panel. This is our drive panel. Our next panel is going to be probably the camera. And then our next panel will be the miner, the slider, and then turning on and off the motor. All right. So now that we have our first 4 buttons, let's fix the rectangle. I didn't call it a triangle. I called it a rectangle. I feel smart for just a moment. So this Lua block, and actually now we can kind of spread this out a little bit. So we've got T1. This is going to have to go back to 1. All right. And then we have 4 buttons. We'll copy, right? T2. Oh, what's going on there? Why you do this? T2, T3, T4. All right. T1. Control copy. T2, T3, T4. These are just variables. Right, touch 1, touch 2, touch 3, touch 4. That's all that stands for. It's nothing. It's not some fancy, super fancy, ultra elite codes. Okay, and then we're gonna do. We'll do 8, and then we want to do 15, and then we're gonna say 22. And this should actually be 16, right? We want it to line up with the rectangle that we have. All right, and then we can take this 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can say touchscreen 2, touchscreen 3, or touchscreen button 4, right? Whatever you want to type in for that variable, you can name the variable whatever you want. The only thing that matters is that you get the pixel location on the screen. 16, 22. All right. All right, let's test that before we Now, the good thing about where it's placed, I can turn on the treads, and we can see if they go forwards and backwards while it's mounted here. We can also go up and down on the slider, although, albeit, I'll have to adjust the... I should get some lighting in here, too. So we have that, we have that, we have that, and we have that. See how I like that it lights up. That way you know which button you're pressing. When it doesn't light up, sometimes you can say, "Oh, am I pressing the button? Am I not pressing the button?" But this way you know. I've pressed it. Okay. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to go into the uranium mining microcontroller, and we need to find out what buttons do what. So first things first, the light goes on channel 5 and the brakes go on channel 6. So now we go back into our touchscreen microcontroller, we go back into our Lua block, and we need to change the output channels, which is not in the Lua block actually. Oh, let me think how I did that here. Let's see. That's right. These are the channels here. Set bool 5 and channel 6 was the brakes, the P brake. All right. So let's do that. Let's update that. Then we'll go back into our microcontroller on our robot. And we are going to say that the drive is these two, channel 7 and channel 8. We go back into our touchscreen microcontroller, yes. Back into our Lua block. And we need to change this. Channel 7, channel 8. All right, and then we can update that. Now what we need to do is we need to spawn in the vehicle. And we need to check to see, is channel 7 forwards or reverse? Is channel 8 forwards or reverse? The way I have it set up, channel 7 should be forward. So let's see. So if we turn this on, we don't need that one on. Just we'll say ahead. Okay. And then if we go down and look at it, it should be spinning. Yes. Spinning very, 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 very fast. So that's the other thing too, is we're going to have to go into the microcontroller and we'll have to adjust the speed. It should be burning. Oh yeah, look at the burn on the on the battery. This is going to be awesome. So if we turn that off. Okay, so I pressed it a second time. Let's see if it stopped. Yeah, it has stopped. Okay. Then if we press it again, I'm going to sleep also, I think, just to make it, if we say back, just so I can turn it back to light daytime. And now it's going in reverse. Excellent. Okay. It's moving ahead extremely, extremely fast. So that's where we go back. Now we can go into the microcontroller and we can say, okay, so we're using the constant number 1 and we're using constant number -1. So I wonder if instead I can't adjust the actual motors. Okay, so we're gonna have to adjust the numbers. There's two ways that this can work. Either it'll be pushed to toggle, or we can, oh no, it has to be pushed to toggle. Okay, so now we have to change our speed. So we go constant number, right? We get 1 here and 1 here, and this is gonna be -0.5. And this is gonna be 0.5, and 0.5 goes here, and it's that easy. I actually really like that. It's that easy. We can say update, yeah, and we'll spawn it in. Let's test it out here. Test it out. Yeah, so this chip here is plan A. Plan B, we're going to build a way larger vessel. And it's my worry is that we're going to be in the cave mining and a wave is going to come by and it's going to trash the whole operation like it does. And there's no way that we're going to be able to prevent that because we're going to be floating. Oh yeah, see, look, they move a lot slower. There's no way for us to prevent that because we're going to be on the surface. So plan B will be we'll be able to take the drill ship and make a new vessel with the drill ship that sinks. I just don't know if I can do that with this one because the way it's designed. I'll have to move the fuel tank, which means I'll have to rebalance the ship. So, yeah, I tried to fill this whole area up with water, and it still didn't sink, right? So, and this is all fuel in here, and then we have this little area back here, which is weighted into the engine room. So there's just too much. I'll need some more batteries too, right? There's just too much air inside this ship. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just build some empty tanks in here for ballasts, just to see. But that is what I think we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to go to the cavern wherever it is, and then we're gonna have to sink down to the ocean floor and just sit there right after we've launched everything, so the waves don't affect us. Similar to what we're gonna have to do. I was thinking about doing that for the drill ship, but I just don't think that's gonna work because that's something else for another day, right? So, and then, yeah, that's something else for another day. Let's just carry on with this. Okay, so now that we have the drive controls, next we are going to do, what is this? This is the slider. And this is the motor speed. All right, so next we'll do the mining. All right, so we'll update that. And seeing as how we're 2x3, edit script. I can double this up. Right, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the. Let's see here. I'll just do it and then we'll talk about it. So this should be 28, and this should be 29, and then this should say down, and we'll copy this, and this will say up. And this is the slider. And then this will be 34. And this will be 35. I'm doing good right now because the math is easy. Copy, paste. T5, T6. It should be 9. And 9 for T5 and 6. So then we'll copy this here. Right. And then it indents it, which is all right. So we'll just do that because every indent is a character. T5 and T6. Let's see, 28 and 34. Yeah. Oops. See, I'm trying to save characters here because we're already halfway through our limit here. Oh, and then we need to double this up here. That's what I was thinking. I think we'll get away with it. T5 and T6. All right, let's try that. Spawn that in. And first what I have to do is, let's release that. I know I'm testing the slider. I'm not testing the... All right, let's see here. Let's go up. Oh, oh. I didn't change the... that's fine. Okay, it looks like up is down. And that means down is probably up. Is that right? Doesn't make any sense. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, it does make sense. It does make sense that this should be reversed because the first button is +1 and the second button is -1. So that should be up and that should be down. And then let's just update the microcontroller and then let's just have a look at direction of travel. No, it looks like it's negative goes up and positive goes down. So I had it right the first time. Down, up. And where I messed up is here. Channel 10 should be that channel. And then here, we'll just update it. I'm going to double check on the, go into our uranium miner microcontroller. And this should be, yes. 9 is down, channel 10 is up. So if I go back, we'll go back into our touchscreen microcontroller, back into our Lua block. And what we need to change is this. This needs to be 28. And this needs to be 34. All right. Then if we update that, always update it, and that way it'll update it here. It won't save it. It won't update the saved one. You have to save it as a new microcontroller or save the microcontroller and update it that way. Okay, so now we're going to spawn in. Right, like any editing that we did to that microcontroller, if we wanted it to be permanent, while we're editing the microcontroller, we can save it. Save the new schematic under the old microcontroller, or we can just save it as a new separate microcontroller. So, well, let's go up. Oh no, actually, down. Let's go down. We'll do that, and it is it. I can't remember if I had a toggle or not. It doesn't actually. Let's see what it says. I wonder if it's not sliding because it's connected. Yes, there we go. It wasn't sliding because this was preventing it from sliding. Okay, so now if I press down, let's see here. It should. Down is up. Now it's a toggle switch. What's going on? Oh, it's a toggle switch. I just said that. Yeah, there we go. Now see, it went down. Okay, perfect. That's that. So what I want to do is I want to change it. I want want to change the down from a push to toggle. Let's see, can I do that? I can do that. And how we do that is we eliminate that block, and then we just do that. Yeah. We could do the same thing for the anything. And all this does is, right, the push to toggle block, it turns this into a toggle switch, from a push switch to a toggle switch. So if you don't use that, it's a push switch. So when your button is pressed on the button on the screen, it does whatever you want it to do, and when you release the button, it stops. So I was thinking about doing that for the drive functions, but then I thought, you know what, when we're deep down in the cave and the camera and stuff, it would be nice just to kind of. So those are just things to think about, right? So we want it to go when the slider moves down. We want to be able to control that because we don't want it to go down too far and lift the machine off the ground, right? We want it to just come down enough to where it touches the ground and let it do its thing. All right, now what do we have here? Now we have the motor speed of the mining device, and that's 2 more. That's 11 and 12. So we'll update that because we changed it, and then we're going to go back into our touchscreen and systems, back into our Lua script. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we can get 2 more buttons. So let's copy this, paste, and this one is going to be let's see, miner on, M on, M off. All right, and then I just realized that I use -1. This, I don't even think, we don't even need this part here, actually. No, I'm going to have to change that on the, okay. So 35, this will go to 41. All right. And then let's change this. Copy. This will be 11. And this will be T7. All right. And then we're going to change this. Copy. And we're going to paste that. And that'll be T7. It's pressed. And then instead of 34, this will be 41. All right. And then we also need another if statement. If T7, then, and this is going to be 41. Because it's already a toggle, so we're done here. We can update that. Now we need to go back into the microcontroller on our robot. And I had this -1 thing set up, but we're just going to delete that, and we're going to delete that. I'm going to leave this node empty. Channel 12 is going to be empty. There we go. And then that way it's on and off. I don't know why I was thinking -1 for stopping, but it's just on and off, right? That's how that works. Okay. So then we're going to update that. And let's spawn it in. Now, let's see how much electric. This is where it drains. It drains. That medium motor that's on there drains. So actually, I'll just release the connector. Looks like, hopefully that's just its natural position. I think I can Yeah. So it's spinning now. But I don't know. All right. It seems like. No, the button works. It just, it's the motor. Oh, I see. Like, why does it only work? As you saw, that's why it only worked when I was holding on to it. Okay, so we're going to update that. And we are going to save this vessel. And there's a wave coming in. So it's a good time to exit that. And yeah, I think we'll end this one here. Let's do a time. Yeah, I think we'll end this one here. Thanks for watching, and we'll restart the next one. We just have the camera functions to go over and add the camera functions, and then we will be ready to depart. I'll have to get some fuel. Obviously, I only have a quarter tank, less than a quarter tank in that ship, so I'll have to do some fuel runs in the truck, spend some money, and then we also have to find the Cavern of Thales. I believe it's over here, but it could be over here or over here. So that's kind of the next few steps. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying these videos. Thanks again. Have yourselves a wonderful day.